I give it a second. I'm gonna probably be coughing the whole time too, just to warn you. I know, right? I'm already alive coughing, it's okay. Oh my god, I got Holly on here. I was like, I'm gonna be for sure coughing the whole time. I'm kind of doing like a Wi-Fi test at the same time. Give me a second to share this. I haven't been live for like 3 weeks. It's perfect timing because we're working on the throat chakra. And it's really an interesting energy. So since the equinox, we've really had this collective heart chakra clearing we've been going through. And the energy, I can only describe it as much like a serpent rising up these chakras. So a lot of people are either still in that heart chakra upgrade space or throat chakra space. It depends on where you're at. I always say that Ascension is like an individual kind of thing. And we're kind of getting lessons, you know, as our bodies can handle it. So I'm kind of all over the place. I haven't done a video in like 3 weeks. I went to the rocks and I kind of had a mind-blowing experience there. I had been there. This is my 3rd time I had been there. And I was kind of joking about it. I was like, well, it took 3 times for me to get the Stargate to work. Maybe I needed Francisco there and on a very real level to kind of get it to work in a Stargate kind of way. So it did crazy things to my timelines. I am very blessed that I have the healers around me, the shamans, the, you know, prophets, the seers, and the most amazing souls around me. So I've been off grid for 3 weeks. I got very sick. Like very, very sick. I ended up in the hospital, which is like my worst nightmare if you know me. I was like in, yeah, a UK hospital, getting shot up with all kinds of things and chemicals we don't want in our bodies and things like that. So I've had an interesting ride since then, to say the least. And I'm not the only one. I just saw that the Dalai Lama, after I went through that upgrade, and I always joke around that I get these upgrades first. And then I saw the Dalai Lama had a chest infection and was in the hospital. And I was like, I know all about that. So I'm going to try to really explain what's going on with the energy here collectively, because I've kind of been out for a minute and I've been observing. I'm still here, don't worry. I've just been behind the scenes, off grid, and observing everything happening around our groups, our movements, with this ascension, the energies. It's what I tend to do, is retreat. So I've been going through a lot of really crazy upgrades. You can't really think that you can go to this Stonehenge Stargate and not have, hold on, I'm trying to get to the comments, and not have it do crazy things to your energy. I had it explained to me like anyone can just buy a plane ticket. Dale just told me this. Anyone could just buy a plane ticket to Stonehenge. It doesn't mean that you're going to have the same experience there, or, you know, the same level of understanding that's going to occur there. So I'm kind of trying to process everything that's happening. I can only describe it like I went through this Stargate with my friends at the time. And it did crazy things to our timelines, like that I couldn't even begin to put into words. I had a psychic, because I've had people come to my inbox with either like cards or readings or channeled advice pretty much every day. And I had someone really amazing around us explain it to me that when I went through this Stargate, it basically sped up our timeline convergences and did insane things to our timelines. I can only describe it from my limited perspective that I probably went through this Stargate and I was too high vibe to go back home. I kept making jokes like, one of these days I'm going to go to these rocks and I'm not going to come back. I'm not very far off from the truth. I feel like it just raised my vibration to a frequency where I wasn't able to return where I was living. We're seeing a lot of crumbling around us with the 3rd dimension, whether it is control drama relationships, toxic friendships, people no longer serving you. That's something I want to talk about real fast, because I always think of that. What is serving you and what isn't? So you have to remember that this is Earth School, that everyone in every experience is teaching us, giving us these lessons, whether we see it or not. And, you know, so what happens in our school? We're getting ready for a new semester, right? Look at it like spring equinox. All right, perfect. We're going to start a new semester. So the lessons that were serving you a year ago or, you know, at a certain point in your evolution might no longer be serving you anymore. We tend to outgrow our lessons, hopefully, unless you're getting the same ones on repeat over and over. I mean, I did that for like a decade until I could, you know, conquer the things within myself. It seemed like I was on the same lessons on a loop. So hopefully you're outgrowing your lessons, whether it's relationships, people around you, and your soul is ready to progress forward. For me, a lot of this is about spiritual liberation always, though. It's always going to be about freeing your soul, not having to come back to this plane of existence to learn. And I'm always saying that a lot of the times it is the souls around us that we need to untangle ourselves from. I am changing my course and my path and attempting to step into a spiritual union of sorts right now, which is a new experience to me. And upon going through this experience that I'm in now, it's become really apparent to me from my last relationship and looking at a lot of the relationships around us that what happens is we tend to have this spiritual awakening and suddenly we're on this spiritual path. And whether you were already in a relationship and this person is not awake or not on the same spiritual path, or, you know, you've just gotten in a relationship and this person is not at the same level of consciousness as you, your ego can go ahead and decorate these relationships and, you know, give you every reason to stay and why, you know, you're learning with this person. But you cannot be in a spiritual union with someone who is not awake or spiritual or at the same level of consciousness as you. And that's going to be a part of these lessons. I had it explained to me, like, why do I always go through this stuff so publicly, right? Because I'm meant to show people. Someone just said that on my profile that, you know, they're talking the talk, but they're not walking the talk. You can go ahead and post spiritual memes all day long. You can go ahead and talk and regurgitate this stuff back. But unless you're living a spiritual path, it's going to do you no good. So a lot of people are not understanding that it's one thing to talk about this stuff and it's another one to do this. You know, it's crazy to me. I've had to make these giant leaps into the unknown. I have like my ex stalking me and trying to have me deported right now. And all this crazy fallout from, you know, these jumps and these timeline jumps I'm being asked to make on my path. And it's really crazy to me. It's very scary. It was scary as hell for me to come to the United Kingdom by myself, to once again set aside everything in my life to step out for this calling into the unknown. I can't even describe the feelings that I've had the past several years on my mission, but you have to take that leap and try to do this in order to get anywhere. So many people have become content in the old. What happens to a flower, right? You're a flower in a pot, suddenly you're growing and you have no more room. Sorry, things might get uncomfortable when you get transplanted. And we need more space to grow. So many people are just comfortable in that same environment, not understanding what this is going to take on a spiritual level to liberate our souls. It's going to take trust in the universe, stepping into the unknown, being very unsure of where you're headed and where your path is leading, and taking that leap. So many people have traded their power and their abilities for the things that they're comfortable in on so many levels. So I find this very appropriate that I'm coming back and we're working on our throat chakra. It might not sound like it because I lost my whole voice when I had the pneumonia too. It's just kind of coming back. But I'm really good with the throat chakra. Through doing these videos and channeling, I've learned how to not care what people think about me. Everyone's posting about me all over Facebook. I'm sure you guys saw my ex and the viral memes, and I don't really care what people think of me at this point because these people have no idea who I am at this point. It's become apparent. So we have to find our voice to do this. And I found that a lot of humanity has been comfortable not speaking at all, keeping their opinions to themselves. I have people coming to me about their relationships and saying, you know, they're talking about the spiritual and their partners saying they're crazy and can they go back to who they used to be. And I know a lot of people are trying to do that, not understanding this is the evolution of the soul. And, you know, you're no longer the person that you were yesterday. You have to continue forward on your path. And I doubt people understand how amazing the person is that you're going to be tomorrow. Do you know who your higher self is? I have to sit there sometimes and think about that. Like, my higher self is a badass and amazing, right? Do you know who your higher self is? That is who we are growing into, going through this evolutionary journey on every level. Hi, I'm not back yet. I'm not really back, but I thought I would do a Wi-Fi test and I would say hi to you guys. And I'm talking to you guys a little bit about finding your voice, stepping out into the unknown. I have people saying, oh my God, I'm talking about the spiritual, but I'm not living and walking the path. It's become apparent. Half of my groups just were singled out. Yes, if you're not doing the inner work and you're just watching my videos, you will become an attachment to me. I tried to tell you guys this before it happened. Psychic, right? I tried to say that if you guys are just coming to my videos for information and you're not putting it into practice in your daily life, that you will be singled out from me. And I tell people to enjoy your time with me. Yes, I've been saying this. You will not learn with me forever. Enjoy the time that you have in learning with me. People don't understand that on so many levels. I look at it like, wow, I just entered 5D and all of my friends almost did not make the jump. Hi, Christine. I see you went to the rocks and you're still here, right? I see that most of the people that attempted to make this jump didn't make it here with me. They're still at a 4th dimensional level, unable to grasp the unconditional love that it takes to enter the 5th dimension. So, you know, on very real levels, the frequencies are changing. They're going up. This is our rest week, and we're getting bombarded with solar winds on crazy levels, if you guys haven't noticed. So I'm trying to explain to people that this ascension isn't going to get easier. It's going to get a lot harder. Like, I don't know if people are realizing that yet. And I mean that in an energetic sense, that the energies are going to continue to pick up and amplify. And it's going to take you doing this inner work. It's one thing to listen and watch YouTube videos all day, right? And to listen to the spiritual. It is another to do what you have to do to purify your mind, body, and soul to make this ascension. Let's see, how are you guys doing? Flowing and growing. I'm doing awesome over here. I've been sick for about 3 weeks. I'm still coughing, right? I almost died. Everyone was such assholes to me the morning of the rocks. I was like, I can't even stand up. And my friends, like, these are the healers. Not one person offered to send me Reiki. I find this funny looking back. Okay, these are the healers that I helped train to, most of them. Not one person offered to send me healing, good vibes, or Reiki. I was complaining and they were like, oh, it must be you did too much psychedelics. How about no? I got the flu from having a sick kid on my mission in London. I got the flu so bad that it turned into pneumonia and I almost died. They described it as life-threatening, not just at the hospital, but when I released myself and went to a different doctor because I didn't want to be in the hospital anymore. I went to a doctor for the same antibiotics. And it was something that was very life-threatening. So everyone just turned into like complete assholes to me. How about you guys are the healers? And if I'm sick, why don't you guys send Reiki or love or support? I'm sick of people judging the people we're asked to heal. I put a post up about the Dalai Lama. Can you send him Reiki on my Reiki wall, right? And people were like, he's evil. I'm not sending him Reiki. Are you serious? Stop judging the people you're being asked to heal. Offer some compassion, some love. If we are the healers, we should stop, judging why people need this healing and maybe offer our, unconditional love, Reiki, assistance, things like that. It was kind of horrifying looking back. I had to think about it. Not one of my friends offered to send me Reiki. I noticed all those people were also singled off my path, to tell you something. Well played, universe. I never get sick. I haven't been sick the whole time I've done Ascension. Yeah, I get Ascension symptoms like everyone else. But actual sickness like that, I will say that I did have some intense encounters on those ley lines. I was in some very spiritual areas, sacred sites and things like that. And I can only describe it as a heart chakra expansion that I went through that almost killed me. Heart chakra expansion, check. So a lot of you guys are maybe going through that heart chakra expansion now. You could be having chest pain, heart palpitations, anxiety, maybe just fatigue, ascension symptoms, or it could be traveling up to your throat now. It depends where you're at with this ascension. Hi, Emma. Perfect. Congratulations. I wanted to put this on my wall. I'll just put it out there now. If you're still in this area, congratulations on entering 5D. Yes, we are entering 5D and beginning to live in those frequencies. So it's very important that we're paying attention to our thoughts too right now. That is the fastest way to drop your vibrational frequency. I'll give you an example. I have my ex stalking me, like I said. So he's sending me like these nasty, nasty emails, threats, and all this gross stuff. If I was to check that and read it, it would just drop me down to his vibrational frequency instantly. Avoid drama. Avoid negativity. Avoid people gossiping. If you see people on your page that are just posting about like low vibe things all the time, I've just been getting rid of people like on my friend list that are talking about real low vibe things, other people gossiping, negativity, and things like that. So I've been kind of doing some spring cleaning on my Facebook page where I don't want to be around this energy anymore. You should notice that you're becoming more and more energy sensitive. Making this ascension, yes, you should be more and more sensitive to the people's vibrations around you. So it's very, very important that we're ditching the negativity, anything that could be lowering our vibe, whether it's people are finding alcohol, drugs. Yes, we have people that are on drugs that are teaching and practicing ascension, and I don't mean Francisco, I mean like other people yeah, he fucked up one time, get over it, people. I mean, like, we have people that are sustaining their lifestyle of drinking alcohol every day, trying to stay on the pharmaceuticals and things like that. And you're going to notice what's happening with this energy is you're going to miss the cut with this ascension and be singled out like we're seeing happen around us. So it's really important that you guys are letting go of the things that are bad for you. You never needed anyone to tell you what to do. You know what's good for you. You know what's bad for you. Ditch the bad habits, whether they're shit relationships, toxins, pharmaceuticals, alcohol. I mean, people don't realize, what do you have to lose? All right, if you don't make this ascension, you do another 75,000 years on Earth. From having seen this cycle's entire Akashic, I know people just picture like, okay, I'm going to go back to a life in modern day America. No, we start out learning in very primitive, tribal places of our own mind in states of separateness you can't even fathom by ourselves. I doubt people could grasp the journey that it took our one soul to do this entire cycle. So there's nothing more important than making this ascension cut for me. You guys know this is all I do 24/7 is detoxing, doing what I should, meditating, letting go of the bullshit, whatever I can. I'm not coming back here. So people don't get how serious this is. Half the planet isn't even consciously aware that there is something happening. They're still living in that third dimensional reality they've been in forever, and they're not even realizing these energetic dynamics or how crucial of a time this is for humanity. You guys are going to all need to find your voice to do this. Yes, we are going to have to create this change through speaking our truth. And it doesn't matter what you talk about. I always say it's more powerful to people rather than going to Google and regurgitating, the law of one or things back that we don't know to be true. Find your voice. Find your truth. That is how you will reach people. Whether you're telling them about your kids, your family, your life, like I do on videos, right? Just talking about what I'm going through. And notice how magnetic that is. I can go on my healing channel and do a card feed tomorrow. Thousands of people will just come find that video and come to me. And me just finding my voice and speaking my truth, it is powerful and it is reaching people. Whether they're awake or asleep, it will reach through that fog to them. So we really need to find our voice on every single level. This is not easy. My mission has never been easy to go against the grain of what is taught socially. Everything I say goes against our programming. I was telling my new boyfriend about vaccines, and I was showing him, my friend is a big vaccine advocate, and I was telling him, we love doing videos together, but when I do videos with him, my entire channel gets so screwed up, right? Because people have been so conditioned to believe that you are evil if you are telling people not to vaccinate your children. You must be trying to kill them. You must be trying to create an outbreak or harm people in some way. So pretty much everything I'm talking about, going against modern medicine, right? Like to spiritual, it's against so much of everyone's programming that yes, you're going to find some resistance in trying to be a light worker a lot of the time, because these people have been so indoctrinated and programmed. And you need to remember that there's a certain level of fear that goes with this non-compliance. Like, if you're not complying, the government will come arrest you and kill you or whatever. But that was how it was 100 years ago in the United Kingdom. I'm pretty sure that if I talked about this stuff, I would have been killed here publicly, probably. So there's a lot of fear that goes with that, about stepping outside of that box. Yes, you may find some resistance in this path, but you're going to find a lot more love and light and sharing your voice than the negativity, I assure you, because I couldn't have continued on this long with people posting about me all over Facebook and lying about me and making up stuff. But trust me, I'm creating more positive ripple effects than the little negative ones that go with that. Find your voice, it's powerful. All right, I'm trying to figure out what else I'm going to throw on here before I get on here. Your throat chakra, detoxing. So I go to the hospital, I got injected with heavy-duty antibiotics. I think they're even worse for me because I'm not sure, but I think antibiotics are made out of mold. And I'm highly allergic to mold. Like, as a kid, I had the allergies and the test, and I'm only allergic to like 3 things, and mold is one of those things. So it's really not good for my body. It really threw my energy out of whack. I've been off the antibiotics like a week now, but it really wasn't good. So I'm back to detoxing crazy, right? I'm back to taking 70,000 vitamins a day and, you know, back to trying to detox. You need to realize that if you're not living in your truth, it cuts you off from the 5th dimension. I caught a couple of my friends lying last week that I noticed got singled off of our path. If you speak one lie, you're closing that door to the 5th dimension. Yeah, it could be to someone like your boss, someone stupid like a family member, right? Live in your truth always. That's something that I have mastered. I don't care who gets offended. Find your truth. That is the gateway to the 5th dimension. Everyone's talking about living in the 5th dimension. You can only lie to yourself. You can only be dishonest with yourself. This all is kind of an illusion of self. So find your voice. I don't care how hard it is to speak the truth. Find your truth. That is what will open you up to the 5th dimension. Everyone's talking about living there. You do that by living in spiritual truth. Hi, I'm sending crazy love. I know, I was like, I'll probably be coughing and have no voice the whole time, but I had to get on here. It'll make me feel better. I wanted to send out some love, let you know what I'm going through over here. I'm reading the comments. I kind of shifted timelines, so you guys all have to bear with me because I don't know who half of you guys are on my timeline suddenly, right? Yeah, I might have come from a parallel reality over here, don't ask. It's like the Mandela effect on my Facebook all over again, where I don't even know who half the people are on my page. It happened, something similar happened to me when I moved to the United Kingdom like 7 or 8 months ago. So I'm kind of going through this again where my Facebook is like the Mandela effect. And I'm figuring out who's on my timeline since half my timeline just crumbled and left. So I'm kind of relearning who's around and who kind of made this jump with me. And so, you know, if you're here, you made this shift. Not everyone did. So it's really important that we continue on our ascension path and, you know, continue to do what we need to do to be living in those 5th dimensional frequencies. It's never been more important. Perfect. Francisco's resting. I'll give you an update on him too. Every person who wrote some shit about him on my group wall to me in my inbox, yeah, I'm like the complaint department, is an asshole. Every person that sat here and judged me over a breakup and him over his fuck up is such an asshole because you guys are not perfect. When you guys think you're perfect, come find me. So things I already saw, people are being tested through the teachers around them. So, you know, it just goes to show what happened with people attacking him, attacking me over my breakup. Please, since when does it affect you guys who I merge? Let's get real. What is it affecting you with what he's doing in his lessons? The universe doesn't make fuck-ups when you get your lessons delivered to you. So everyone's like, oh, he's messing up. No, the universe doesn't make mistakes. Are you kidding me? A little less judgment around here until you have your shit a little more together. I'll just put that out there. He's doing good. He's resting at his family's house. Yeah, judging lowers your vibe. He's resting like me. We've been off-grid. And so the second we go off-grid, we must be doing awful and oh my God, right? So just look at it like, you know, the semesters are changing. Me and Francisco are getting ready to have a bunch of new students brought to us. So we see that there's a singling away happening of the people that aren't making the cut. And we're about to get a bunch of new people delivered to us as the Ascension teachers that we have grown into being. So we're kind of going through this transition on our own of self. And those rocks are not a joke. Ask Christine, she was there. I think she just took 3 weeks off work too, but I'm not sure. So, you know, they weren't really a joke. The people that actually went through that Stargate and these areas and had it work probably found that it could take their body a second to catch up, that it could take you a while to integrate these adjustments and these changes we're going through. I think I covered everything. Oh yeah, our AOL group got hacked. Yeah. I don't even want to go there. Our AOL group and Agents of Light astrology groups were hacked. We no longer have domain over those. So you guys might want to leave them if you're still members. I mean, I heard they were just posting bullshit about us all over the wall. So if anyone's still in them, that's their own problem. Anything else I forgot, Susan? Safety meeting. I think that's about it. I'm going to get off of here. I just want to send you guys some Reiki and good vibes. I've been off grid doing videos, but I'm still here on my site and doing what I do. Just kind of more behind the scenes, hanging out. Let's see. Read in the comments. Hi, Julie. I love it. I'm going to be doing some cards this weekend, too. I'm looking forward to that. I had someone that I'm never sick in my life. They got a card reading. And I was like, I can't do your reading. And they were such an asshole to me. These are the healers, right? Like, are you serious? First off, divine timing, right? If things are not working out and you're not getting what you want instantaneous, you need to understand there are a lot of people having their lessons here. This goes for your manifestations, too. There's a lot of people learning simultaneously, and the universe has a big job of orchestrating all of our lessons so we're not colliding, or we're colliding with the right people at the right time, right? What a job the universe has, keeping us all, you know, where we should be at every given moment. So right now, you guys might be feeling that there's kind of a clearing going on your timelines. Yeah, you need to clear some space because the manifestations that you've been putting out vibes for a while are getting ready to arrive. So you may need to just be clearing some more space. You guys are always giving up, like you try to manifest something and you're not receiving it, you know, that second. And then you tend to give up on your dreams, not realizing that you're like a second away from it arriving, and you're giving up and self-sabotaging yourself. When you put out a manifestation, stay aligned with it. The last thing I'm going to touch base on is we have a lot of people trying to win the lotto or manifest things for very service to self reasons. They're not going to work. I explained this a year ago. I was like, sorry, if you're trying to manifest something that is service to self, there's a new default in place where it's not going to work. This is to protect everyone. The universe is only interested in what is good for the collective or the good of all right now. So if you want your manifestations to work better, try to manifest things that will serve everyone, not just yourself. It's probably why I'm so good at manifesting, because anything I'm manifesting is in regard to my mission, which is serving the collective. So, you know, if you want to shift your manifesting abilities, try to be more, you know, service to others right now. And I have to look back, and when I see the people that are getting singled out of our groups, they're not light workers. They can act like they are. Everyone acts like they are around here. But they're not serving the collective in any way. They're still on a very service to self type path. And it's very important, I said, that we're shifting to service to others with our intent. It doesn't mean you need to be trying to save people or interfere with their lessons. Everything comes down to where your heart is at and where your intent is at. Have an intent to do what's best for the collective and step outside of self for a moment, and things will go a lot better. Lots of earthquakes, Yellowstone, oh my God. So I got this, it's a sync that you say that, because I was playing a Yellowstone video for my boyfriend. That's part of the reason I left the United States. People are like, why did you leave? We have rumors I ran away. Okay, well, I just felt living in California that something catastrophic could happen there. I always joke around and say America has to fall so Atlantis can rise. It was something Edgar Casey had predicted as well. And that's just me. So I was watching one of my favorite end time news guys. He was doing a video. You know, he tracks a lot of the seismic activity like me with Yellowstone and the earthquakes happening. I'm not taking these probabilities off of the table. It's very important that we're letting go of fear, though. And the reason why I think America is at such a risk is it's so out of balance. And when countries become out of balance, it's what happened with Atlantis and Lemuria. Things became so out of balance, it created a pole shift. So when places become out of balance like that, the earth will naturally have to cleanse and purge and correct itself. So yes, we're seeing more and more of these quakes. The more the people come out of harmony and balance with each other too, it really amps up the seismic activity and things going on. Let's see. You can't hear anything. Well, we're working on our throat chakra this week. Yeah, we have massive solar winds. It's crazy. I know that you get more of this energy in the UK too. So I know that a lot of people in Canada and the US are getting snow. We're over here getting nailed with like solar winds on our break and things like that. Yeah, we're seeing an increase in these ascension energies. It's something I helped manifest too. I am a galactic starseed and I am here on a mission. And people aren't complying that good with me. Right? People are not complying as well as we would like them to be. So what we can do is we can speed up this ascension by bringing in more of these galactic energies. And that's what we're seeing happen, especially since the beginning of the year through the equinox. We're suddenly seeing that these gateways are opening and more of these galactic, especially Syrian type energies are flooding the planet. And it's really going to speed up this ascension. I mean, I had to look at the calendar. I never know what month we're in. We have 8 months left, ideally, to this ascension to be where we need to be in the right frequencies. So we're kind of down to like crunch time right now. I'm going to let you guys go on that note, but I'm definitely going to be back for like a card feed on Monday.